right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There's the man himself.
Hey, man. Your
How you
lad.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
There's
Hey,
Len.
Len.
What's up?
How you doing? You guys haven't met yet, right? Wow, you look good, man. You look like
Yeah.
you look like you're what's the lighting? You look like you're on MSNBC or something. Doesn't he look good?
Yeah, he's ready for like a serious interview and he's all dressed.
Yeah,
in a jacket
I
and
think
all
we-
that.
Lottery will get you everywhere.
we're you got the wrong eyes for that, man.
Yeah. If you thought this was going to be pro, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to admit, I had a client call before this, so I'm like rolling from one to
You're a
so.
roller. You're a roller.
Yeah, that's cool.
But look
We
at
like
you
to
and your
roll too.
podcast mic. Yeah, we like to roll. Look at your podcast mic. It's really pretty impressive. Both of you guys have impressive podcast mics.
You know, you got to have a big mic if you don't have a big ego.
So you guys have not met yet, right? Is this the
No.
first time?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I think you guys should know each other anyway,
Hold,
regardless of
hold
this.
for 1 sec. Are you recording already?
No.
1 second. I gotta grab something really.
Press
Hold on,
record.
I gotta do my record too.
Okay, cool.
I don't need to record.
No, you're good. We record you separately. You are good to go. I mean, you know what? You don't need to record. It's fine. Too complicated. All right, Len, I will count you off and then we are off to the races. This is taped, by the way, Jason. So we edit it. So if there's anything you don't like, just let us know. All right, Len, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Everything is Personal.
Yeah.
Woo! I
Thank
was
you
waiting
very
for the
much.
sound effect. Oh, let me introduce my co-host as always, Mr. John Small.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's
You
wonderful.
don't have any sample or music or anything?
Well, I mean,
Applause for
I
yourself?
just flew into LA and boy, are my arms tired. Oh, wait. Oh, man, I messed up that effect. Damn it. I pressed the wrong button. Wait, let me do that again.
You want me to just to do it?
Tommy, take that over. You know, I just flew in from LA and boy, are my arms tired.
Yes.
Got
Henny
it. I
Youngman's
got my
back in.
We are off to a great start.
Yeah, this is professional
Yes.
podcast radio.
Live from the Borscht Belt.
Exactly. What do you get when you mix 2 Jews, cannabis, and late afternoon podcasting when you're a little bit dizzy?
I got to talk about that, but let me introduce our guest first and let our guest introduce him because I'm super excited to talk about music too, but there is a cannabis connection. So our guest is Mr. Jason Turner, who is the CEO and co-founder of Three Wells. Is that correct?
I am the CMO.
Oh, CMO. Sorry. We don't know each other. This is our first time meeting, so I usually make a mistake the first time. So this is now I'll remember.
That's your Chiba Chiba, y'all. It's like a morning radio show, Jason.
So let me just tell you, Jason, we'll get into it and you can give your intro. I just want to say something before I forget. So this is where cannabis is really personal. It's really interesting. So last night we were talking to this this company. I'm not going to mention any company or anything like that because they're not a sponsor. So if anybody wants to sponsor, then they'll get a mention. But anyway, this company produces capsules. They're THC capsules, and they're supposed to be strain specific. And I thought that they would have, test results, but I guess I got to go and look for them. So it gave me, it's a sativa dominant. It's a capsule. Each one is 25 milligrams. And I took it and my friend took it. And I took 25, said like, she's an ultra rapid metabolizer. So she took 75. I took 50. It wasn't doing anything for me, but instead of giving me energy, like she's saying she had all this energy, it made me tired. And today, like I wake up like happy to go. But I was so groggy. I'm still like foggy from the stuff. So she had a complete body high. I had a complete head high from the stuff. So I'm a little bit foggy. That was the long-winded way to say I'm still a little bit off. So I'm trying to get my.
If you had read Jason's website, then hopefully it would have screened.
I did. I read his website before this, but I'm saying I forgot everything because I'm so foggy.
Well,
anyway,
Jason,
Jason.
tell us what you do. Tell us what Three Wells is and your background.
Yeah, well, Three Wells, threewells.co. We're focused on the 50 plus market. So, and I have to admit, I'm square in that demographic, and that's why we started the company. But, Three Wells really is about making sure that people, my age, I won't assume your ages. You guys look really young. So
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
In their 30s.
You're right.
Okay.
We're in the 30 plus demographic. Thank you.
Yes.
30 plus 30.
Exactly.
Okay,
We're in the
I'm
same
20.
demographic, Jason. We're in that.
We are in the 50 demographic.
So, look, we'll probably get into this, but it's very personal for me why we started the company. I'll share that a little bit later. But yeah, the company really is about the whole demystification of cannabis and CBD and everything around it for three core reasons. And that is to help people be well, live well, so they can do well. And that's where the name came from, Three Wells. And so we provide information and connection to services and products. We don't own any products. We don't sell any products directly. And it really is to help people live better lives. And I don't mean for that to sound trite in any way. That's really why we started the company. As we talk, you'll find out why my partner Craig and I did this. So that's the quick synopsis.
Right. Yeah, we're definitely on the same page as far as empowering people for to get better control of their own health and wellness. Why? Just curious. Was 50 plus because that's your guys' demographic, and you're like, hey, I don't want to go into a dispensary and have a 20-year-old bud tender tell me I should take a chocolate bar. Is that kind of how you came up with that? What was the impetus?
No, it's really not just because we're in the demographic. We really noticed. Well, why don't I tell you the story? And
Yes,
it'll make a lot of sense.
He teased the story.
I know.
Cliffhanger.
I got the setup going here.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to hook it now. So here's a straight shot. My partner, Greg, and I mean business partner, just for clarity, not judging or anything like that, but my business partner, Greg, he and I suffered the same back pain, the exact same back pain for years. Mine went on for 23 years, where I would wake up in the morning sweating because I was in so much pain. And we both tried opioids. We tried everything that our doctors prescribed and all kinds of crazy stuff like magnetic rocks and, you name it, we tried it independently. And of course, as friends, we shared a little bit about our trials and tribulations as we both dealt with our back pain. But we really didn't get into it too much because, one human being to another, you can only stand so much griping and then you just become a downer. So you end up keeping all that pain bottled up, both emotionally and physically. So as it happened, Greg found a great doctor, and I'm shortcutting a lot here for brevity, but he found a great doctor, had spinal surgery. And then he said to me, hey man, you gotta check this guy out. And I did. And I ended up having the same back surgery. And thankfully today, both of us are, we're living at about 90% pain-free in our backs. But what that opened up next was a whole conversation about what we had come through. And we had both, like I said, tried the opioid route and all kinds of crazy, methods and methodologies. And both of us had turned to cannabis, and not to just like get so high we couldn't feel, but quite the opposite, just take the edge off so that we could cope on a daily basis. And so we ended up sharing with one another this journey we had with cannabis. And we both said, man, there's no good information that's trustworthy out there that what, no matter what your age demographic, and this was, 2.5, almost 3 years ago when we had this conversation. And we said, and when you get older and you really want things focused to your life stage, 40, 50 plus, there is almost nothing that you can rely on. And we thought, this isn't right. We have this wonderful plant that can do so many fantastic things. We've experienced personally. We got to do something about this. We got to put some information out there and connect people with the right services and products and information so that hopefully they can go live the lives that we can now live because of our journey. And sure, the surgery did a lot, but I got to tell you, cannabis was a lifesaver on multiple occasions for both of us. And that's how Three Wells got started, was all from that.
What was the back issue that you were having, if you don't mind sharing? Just curious.
Yeah, mine was, I got hit by a drunk driver. So you can imagine I'm not big on drinking.
Yeah, that's another
Did
reason
you
to like
did you get
cannabis.
hit in while you were driving, in the car? It was a car accident. You got hit walking.
I got hit. I was on my bicycle. I wasn't even on the road. I was on it. There was about an 8-foot shoulder, and I was to the right of that 8-foot shoulder. And a drunk driver, I was just riding along one afternoon, and he was so drunk he swerved off the road, hit me from behind, and my bike got pulled out from under me because it got sucked under the car.
Oh, wow.
Fortunately, I went into the windshield and then up onto the roof and then hit the trunk and then hit the ground.
Wow.
And that, I know that sounds horrific, but it's actually fortunate I didn't go with the bike.
Oh yeah, for sure. You don't want to be under the car. You'd rather be over the car. It makes makes sense.
But what it ended up doing was crushing a couple of discs and fracturing my vertebra. Right. And so that's what started the whole journey of back pain. So it was a mechanical thing. It wasn't just
For sure. No, that's why I wanted to clarify, because, people have different things. Not that we're anti-surgery or anything like that, but, if somebody's back just hurts and, it could be from stress. We're not saying go out and get back surgery. You had a legitimate, condition which required that. Were you consuming cannabis prior to the surgery too?
Yeah, I was lightly.
Right.
I'm not, full disclosure, I'm not a big altered states guy. I enjoy, a little euphoria, relaxation, happiness, fun. I'm not the kind of guy that just goes, gets,
little LSD, little.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Jason. We're on this. We're on team.
Microdosing. Microdosing is good though. No?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah, right.
A little bit of psilocybin, I think, right before an interview is perfect. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I met a psilocybin doctor here I live up in Marin County. Mm-hmm. And man, she's got some great stories, and I hadn't even considered it, but she uses it in her psychology practice, for therapy, and the stories she told me were just phenomenal. So
I love it.
So when you did, I'm just still curious about the recovery and the cannabis use. So were you using it instead of opioids to help recover from the pain of the surgery initially?
No, I didn't. I actually only used opioids because there's an incredible amount of pain I don't want to get too graphic or gross for anyone, but to do the surgery that Greg and I had, they have to tunnel through your abdomen.
Yeah.
So all your organs and everything and muscles and everything get pushed aside. So, cannabis has its strengths, but when you're dealing with that kind of pain, you need a blunt instrument. And to me, opioids are a blunt instrument. They go in, they smash everything and they dull it down, and they don't care about what it causes to your liver and whatnot, but it's effective for that kind of acute, very aggressive pain.
Right.
Whereas the amount of cannabis I felt like I would have to intake wouldn't, it'd just be too much. So I actually stayed on the opioids for about a week.
Right.
And then it was just off. I got to get off because I don't like opioids at all for all kinds of reasons. And then it was a little bit of cannabis just to, keep my muscles relaxed and keep me in a, relatively comfortable state so that I didn't seize up with the pain. Yeah. So that's how cannabis kind of filtered in after I needed that power of opioids.
Got it. How did you know what was right for you, or how did you have experience in finding the right strain or cultivar? How do you prefer consuming? Was it more CBD, THC? Like, where did you get your education? I'm just curious on that too.
Most of my education, I think, kind of like we do old school, you kind of trial, right?
Right.
Trial and error. And I did reach out to doctors, but doctors really failed me when it came to cannabis. They're getting
Right.
better now. And actually at Three Wells, we have a chief medical advisor who's
Mhm.
been in cannabis for 30 years. But, they're so rare. And I just felt like the medical community, and I'm not blaming them. I get it that, they have a very specific legal obligation and they have very specific parameters they have to fall within.
Right.
So I don't fault them